you could just be like, oh, you guys don't even know no one even really knows yet. Let's go. And so
Yeah.
that's part of our ethos. And of course, we like,
well, that's the frontier, right? Like that's, yeah. And the frontier will always be there. And it's always the most exciting place to create at, is the frontier. It's the unknown. And that's a good segue for our next guest. Sean, I'm going to say goodbye just so we have time for the other creators. So nice to see your face. We've spoken before, but we've never seen each other before. So it's lovely to see you. I hope we get to meet IRL this year. And just like everyone else, we're doing the Artifact Boost program. I'm going to throw the link to your amazing project into the chat on X. Please go and buy some artifacts. I will match every artifact sale up to 4, and whoever sells the most today, I'll buy an extra 4 from. Hey, Kyle, are you there? You are there. Hi, Kyle. Good to see you.
You too. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I feel like the energy has been a little sluggish for at least in my orbit at the start of the year. This is the first sort of time I'm feeling my own energy lift. I don't know. How are you feeling, Kyle?
Yeah, I'm actually, it's quite hectic here because we've just started out Infinita City, and it started 4 or so days ago, and it's starting to 50 people are going to show up tomorrow. And
oh man, so you're engaged. You're pushing.
Yeah,
good.
I got too much coffee, and I'm
good. Well, I feel like we could all use that energy. So I'm glad that you're bringing it. I hope it's infectious. And you're joined by someone today.
Yes, yeah, Manuel. He's taken over the Makerspace as the operator. So we had the
hello,
Makerspace.
Manuel. Nice to meet you.
Aaron, it's a pleasure to meet you too. It's as Kyle was saying, I'm starting I will become the new Makerspace manager. Right now I'm at home, but tomorrow I'm traveling there. So I'm packing things right now and getting all my equipment ready to assist the whole place. So yeah, amazing. That's a bit of my story, but I can start with my intro if you want right now. Or
yeah, do we have any slides or anything that we're going to be seeing?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, well, let's get those up on the screen. And then, then I want to know who, introductions to both of you for people who don't know you yet. And then I want you to tell us about what you're building and making together. Scott, do you need anything from them?
No,
okay, Scott's coming. All right. And for those of you who don't know, Scott's been struggling with some health issues, and he had his tonsils removed over the holiday. So if you're wondering why isn't Scott showing up more, because he normally is such a big presence, it's because he just had a pretty big surgery. He says he's feeling better. Hopefully by next week, we'll have him back at full force. But let's all wish Scott a speedy recovery. He's a pillar of the artisan community and a really amazing human.
Thanks, Renee.
All right, so MoonDAO, Makerspace. All right, and okay, so yeah, please introduce both yourself, and then I'm really curious about MoonDAO and how it relates to squaring the spiral, which is Kyle's project, and I assume that will all become clear and evident.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll introduce myself first because I can give a little bit more context there, and then Manuel will do the whole slideshow. So. I'm Kyle, a legal engineer, but really polymath. And so some of the work I've done is in a new kind of software architecture so that we can convey like financial information, legal information, that kind of stuff. And part of that was exploring mathematics. And so I discovered a way to reconcile the Pythagorean theorem with the golden ratio. And so it looks like this. So here's an example of one of those objects. And here's another example of another one of those objects. And so that's what squaring the spiral is about, is explaining that math in a way that is really more art. So people don't even necessarily need to appreciate the math. And then also figuring out how to go from point A all the way up to having giant buildings that are built with this structure, and people can just go inside and explore. So the very first products or things are very simple, like earrings and such. So last year at this pop-up that we're at right now in Honduras, I founded a makerspace so that we could explore the math tangibly with 3D printers and such, and other things as well. But that was my personal motivation to do it. So squaring the spiral is, that's why it's so related to this makerspace, because that's where Makerspaces where we're prototyping and such this new geometry in the real world, not just in digital form, which is so far that's where it's at. And so MoonDAO, they decided to join and be our sponsor. And last year and then this year, we're finalizing a sponsorship that is expanding the scope quite a bit. And that's why we have a full-time operator who's going to take over the slideshow in a second. Yeah, he'll go more in detail here, but to colonize space, STEAM is requisite. So STEAM is, it used to be STEM, it used to be science, engineering, math, and now art is included. And personally for me, I did that before it changed to STEAM because to fully express my scientific brain includes my creative brain and such. So that's why
I love that.
is involved here. Yeah, we've got a few different things we're doing, especially educating children, and it really is, space does require a multidisciplinary approach to STEAM, and so Makerspace is a really great place to kind of get people to begin those learning those abilities. And then as the Makerspace matures, we will be working with the really sophisticated industries that are here to also help them prototype and on demo days and such. So with that, Manuel, please take over.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, that was basically a quick overview of what I'm going to show you. So thank you, Cal, for doing the introduction. On my end, I am Manuel Avendaño. As Cal mentioned, I'm going to be now taking charge as the Makerspace manager. My background is in mechatronics engineering, and as such, it started as a kid when I loved to build stuff, like playing with Lego, for example, and not just following the instructions, but creating my own stuff out of it, building even architecture or just concepts of machines. So from there, I've gone moving forward to become now a techpreneur, if I could say it that way, working with people like Kyle and getting involved in communities like Italia. So that's why I got close into the Makerspace community with Kyle. And part of that was to, well, with my skills and the whole rest of the team that are already part of the Makerspace, take us to that next level of what has been done so far on the Makerspace. So with my next slide, I think one of the missions that I can explain for the Makerspace is building and working on cybernetic and geometric innovations that can change the world. As Carl expressed it originated with his ideas of squaring the spiral and not just having math art, but turning that art into devices or technologies. And well, I want to jump in this one fast forward because I understand from him and the conversations that we had that he wanted to bridge that past, present, and future of what the spiral is in our society and multiple cultures. You can see it painted in caves and in different type of inscriptions that you can find around the world. So that means a lot on how it affects.
Just to interrupt you real quick, Scott, I think we're cropping a little bit of the top of the image, but keep going because I think the essential things for this slide are there.
All right, cool. But yes, the essential thing, as you said, was the image to express that we are trying here to turn the spiral in not just a visual element in nature, but something that we humans can turn into art, technology, and bridge it with a whole STEAM education, right? And that's where, well, here are a couple of examples of how things started with Square and Spiral, having just a few concepts on an SVG, then turn it into CAD. And a lot of this came from, yes, the creativity that Kyle had initially and collaborating with other people. An alliance was bridged. And that's where Symbian Labs, Infinity, and MoonDAO came in. They saw that in Roatan, together with the Prospera city that was being built there, there was this need to expand further the education that was being done in the island. Because as the global civilization grows in not just technology, but different ways of training, upskilling, education, even arts keep being involved. Like previously, you were talking with this other person, I don't remember his name, about how AI is affecting all the industries. And art was one of the initial ones that was onboarded by it. But it's just a tool, right, for us to continue evolving. And with that kind of a mentality, this alliance to turn the idea of the makerspace into something that can be adapted to the island and assist the local education schools on providing out of the traditional type of resources, and also all the people that wanted to attend Prosper and Vitalia, right? And those who wanted to upskill on what they didn't know if they want to build a product. And that's where prototyping 3D printing comes in. So it popped up with the Makerspace in Roatan, and one of the things that it initially was done was to, as you can see in this image, do some classes on electronics. And yes, there you have it.
So
We
cool.
still have some of those.
My son got a 3D printer for Christmas. That was his big gift, and we printed that dragon out that you're holding up.
Nice. Yeah, it's very cool because you can see how the geometry of the different parts of the dragon interact together, and it's I think this is where some of the concepts of fractals come in on how you see those multiple parts joining together, right? So this is where the whole idea of turning math art into math tech comes in, because kids, they have a lot of imagination, and it's sad how certain methodologies that have been kept, let's say on the traditional way, archaic, are sometimes turning dormant this creativity in kids. And I've seen it. Like I've done classes in prototyping for 3D printing here in my own city. I initially had a makerspace with a school a long time ago, and I really enjoyed seeing these kids. Like they came up with new ideas on the initial prints that I had, and putting them down the printing, the machine, to build their own thoughts. It's something that, I don't know, it has no price. You see how creativity builds up out of that, and eventually it turns into a concept that you can eventually turn it into a product and assist other people, support other people that have certain necessities based on what you have built, right? So with that concept, we also try to address certain problems in Roatan, in the island in particular, and that's where prosthetics and bioprinting came in. There are certain people, multiple people in the island, that lack certain limbs, either an arm or a foot, or the complete extension of his foot. But through this type of tools and innovations, we can bridge that problem that multiple people that want to create what they have it in mind, but perhaps the lack of limbs is just what creates that problem. So with this, there are not here, but we have some concepts on different artistic ways of building up the arm, right? Because there are already certain industries out there that are trying to productize this, but it's, in my opinion, still in an early stage. And that's where the makerspace comes in. We can prototype, we can experiment depending on the needs of certain people. And another activities that we have conducted together with this.
And actually, one thing else, another reason is that it's quite difficult to bring supplies into Honduras, and so it's that's a pressure then to get good at edge manufacturing. So CAD designs, that's easy to get in. It's just telecoms. But then, so sending those CAD designs, we print them here. That's actually way easier to do in a lot of cases than to have to ship over, say, someone like a prosthetic for a leg or something like that. That's a little bit above what the Makerspace can do right now, but the Infinita community have the scientists that have that capacity. So hopefully this year we'll be able to achieve that kind of first mission. But in general, that's also why it's the Makerspace here is especially interesting for colonizing the moon and Mars and such, because edge manufacturing is going to have to be done there as well.
Yeah. So maybe you'll get there, but so Kyle, your project is sort of part of these other, maker spaces. You're collaborating, you're printing out these things. When someone backs your project on Artisan, what's the relationship between the project that's actually on Artisan's, in season 4 and these MoonDAO or the other maker spaces?
Yeah, so what we've decided to do, the collaboration, there's 3 different artisan projects that have just at the final ask parts of the season 4 have decided to work together on selling MoonDAO Makerspace credits. And so then there's up to, I think $5,000 is 20% off. So if you buy $1 worth of credits, you get $1.20 worth of credits. And then you can use those credits for, we're building out a catalog of all the different things we sell. And so that includes the earrings and the stencils and all those other products that we're going to be building out for Squaring the Spiral. And then with that matching, we're going to be able to have Space Day during the Infinita the next couple months. So that'll be great, because Space Day is a way to do a lot of STEAM education and such. So there's a lot of positive impact, win-wins for us all to collaborate together. So we'll go into a little bit of the catalog offerings. There's also these cheerbots, these robots that's one of my projects personally. And then there's Symbiont Lab swag and a few other things that you can buy with it. And then Infinita has pardon?
Cool swag.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah. Local Louise, our resident artist. He makes this stuff. So
I love it.
There you go. That's him working with the local kids on, and there's the bottle rocket stuff. And so so you don't really have to decide what part of us 3 projects you prefer, and as long as you buy from one of us, that's going to go to our overall community, and we'll figure that out. And then if you don't like what the Makerspace is doing, Infinita has also agreed to do a swap with their tokens. And so if you want to visit us, you can go to a restaurant and use those tokens. And so there's 20% off pretty much everything in Infinita as a way to look at it. And obviously, I would love it if you buy my products. The earrings have been the best sale right now. But either way, if we pull together and have these credits, people can just know that they're all helping us quite a bit with that matching. And then later they can decide what they prefer to keep as their own personal item.
Dope. Love it.
Alrighty. And part of the bridge, the what this new alliance of this other profiles, the venture, actually is also Max Medina was going to join, because he's part of the venture DAO, another profile in Artisan, because this is the Space Day of 2024, right? Because space is so complex, it needs this holistic approach of STEAM education to succeed. In general, it takes most of the time STEM, as we can express here. The A stands for art, and this access for children sometimes is being taken for granted. And as you can see, we have included someone like an artist, Luis, who assists them in the painting and different ways of using the colors, because, there's other arts that we can show him, but given the time constraints, it's not possible. But he's really good, and he has helped us in making this new stage, where now we're gonna be creating a further catalog of rewards that will include further math art beauties, like the earrings that Kyle mentioned. But not just that. I think I've already seen the stencils, but there are other ideas of potentials. Oh yes, that's
this
one
is
of the art.
Louise's work, yeah. And this is our logo for the Makerspace. And he's got murals now all over Infinita and such.
Amazing. Yeah, it's a beautiful piece.
And so this was for the basically Space Day 2024. And with the Venture DAO, we are aiming to having a different Space Day for 2025, where we could have different type of STEAM classes together with Luis. Also, they will be bringing other people to give those classes, as well as give conferences. Together with them, we're going to be making workshops on different ways of prototyping. You saw some of those rockets. For this time, we want to prototype with rovers and concepts of satellites, because we're far to get a satellite from here, but start doing this with local kids, as you said earlier, and with all the different participants that come to Infinita and have wanted this kind of experience of getting closer to the moon. The whole idea with having this alliance with MoonDAO and the rest of the teams that you saw, Symbiont, Infinita, and now the Venture DAO, is to get.
Oh, that sound means that somebody sold an artifact.
Oh, nice.
Oh, we sold some for Squaring the Spiral. Good job, y'all.
Thank you.
Nature Spirit stepped up again with another 3 purchases. Nature Spirit's amazing. They're very supportive. They've been helping people out. I need to get to know whoever that person is. But, anyways, keep going. That's amazing. Yeah, they've collected from so many projects. Thank you, Nature Spirit. You are my spirit.
Oh, that's nice. So all of this, what we get from the rewards will be to support this types of initiative. having this new way of teaching STEAM through art. And part of that would be to have other ways of evolving our existing catalogs, having not just an SVG to CAD, but also start creating architecture or teaching about architecture with this type of tools we have in the Makerspace. Also, cyberware jewelry, you saw that reward we initially had on our profile, but we have different ideas now that we have interacted with other people that were attracted with how this implementation of Square and the Spiral keep turning into jewelry. And here's a very far-fetched idea of what the sherbet can become, but that's our goal, to make this Cosmo companion that you can take around the Earth. And if you're already part of the travelers that are going to the moon, take this as one of those companions you can play around as a toy, or just to interact through the road. And
Maybe I
to wrap
can
it
make a
up,
comment here because I don't think we've spoken much, Renee, about the Cheerbot project. That's my other one.
Yeah,
And
please.
yes, so it's for the Makerspace. It's especially it's more. I would say the stencils that we're selling, that's great for elementary students, very young people and such. And a lot of the math art right now, that's everyone can access it. And these robots, that's more for senior students in high school, or maybe freshmen in college. But it teaches the basics of single board computing. So here's an example of the insides of one of those robots. So it's got a Raspberry Pi here, then like an amplifier and an LED display, but you can do really amazing things. Here's an example of a Game Boy that the cartridge is actually a Raspberry Pi.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then here's one, Cassix, a Symbiont, who's one of the founders of Symbiont. This thing is called a peg leg. And so he took this Raspberry Pi, so the same Raspberry Pi that's in the Cheerbots, and he put a skin around it, and then he put it inside someone's leg. And then
I love people that are doing this shit. One of our other creators, Sven Herman, with the project Incented, has a little RFID chip in the soft part of his hand that he installed himself. So cool. Why did that person have it in his leg? What did he want to do with a Raspberry Pi in his leg?
It was a Wi-Fi repeater. So there's an amplify Wi-Fi where, if you're on the edge of the Wi-Fi with your leg, then everyone gets its enjoy more Wi-Fi. Wow. But that's what Symbiont Labs does. That's what they are. There's a physical cybernetic, a hardware cybernetic org. So they put those chips in, and so they're right now managing the Makerspace. This is where right now. So this is Symbiont's Labs we're in right now. Mm-hmm. Here's those Cheerbots I was talking about before, but in their chassis, which are 3D printable. So if you want, your family, if you want to do a weekend, we're doing a course here, and then we'll probably have it online. You potentially could print one of those out.
Yeah, online. We bought the X Maker 3D printer, which is especially for kids. So it has somewhat of a walled garden. I'm sure you could hack it to get other designs, but they have like an app for the iPad or iPhone that you can scroll through a bunch of designs that are sort of approved to make sure that they work, so you don't have like a kid that's frustrated, because you can get a lot of crappy designs that are hard to print.
Definitely. Well, that's interesting to then explore, because this is my first experience. So I'm guessing it's high school people and stuff, but that's important. Like who, what the underlying course, Balaji took it or taught it. So it's actually definitely a college course. If people really want to get in the weeds.
Balaji Srinivasan taught it?
Yeah. And way back in 2013.
Do you know Balaji? I'm his biggest fanboy. Maybe not.
Yeah. He was here last year. Yeah, I met him, and he's
at some point I want to. It is high on my list to get to know him, because everything he's doing with the network state is just so exciting. What an amazing.
It is, and he changed my life way back in 2013. Before he was even with Coinbase and stuff. So here's the Symbiont Labs right now. So that's so the Makerspace stuff is here, and then Symbiont Lab stuff as well. So there's the MoonDAO Makerspace sign. Cool. And then so all of this stuff is going to be moving into there's the first proper skyscraper on Roatan on the island. It's pretty close to me, but there's no real windows here to show it. And we're going to get we have a lot of space that we've just minted to deal with them. That's Prospera and the tower. so that we can have the makerspace there. And then there's also a
Cool.
lab, and there's a couple other cool projects that it'll just be a really great experience. So I don't, season 4 might wrap up before we're in there, but it's pretty exciting that we just agreed on a deal for a few months to basically that's their matching is giving us a space to operate the makerspace in.
Amazing. Well, is there more in your presentation? Keep going. Keep plowing forward.
Final part, and just added that we have also a biology course with the ChairBot. I don't know if that was mentioned there. So it's going to be very exciting how it works out for the following months. And yep, to wrap it up, this is our basically how we're gonna be the artifacts that we're gonna be selling for this time, because these credits will be part of how we're gonna be giving you out all the different type of stencils, accessories, and jewelry that we're gonna be putting for the catalog in the collaboration that we have, the three of us, Square and Spiral, Makerspace, and Deep Ventures DAO. We're gonna build a catalog of multiple things, the ChairBot and the jewelry as part of that. To have access to this, it will be the credits. Right now, we're gonna be giving out an off limit of 200 for a 20% discount. So $1 will cost basically 80 cents. And that'll be for a limited amount of 200. Then we're gonna have it just dollar for dollar.
I love it. Very, very inventive use of rewards. I'm excited to see how creators have been. This is the first season that we've done rewards. It's fun to see how creators are what they're offering. These are interesting.
As we look to build more stuff with math art and math tech, the catalog will be growing, and that's our initial link to it. It will be available the profile, so everybody can start looking into catalog that will be coming up in the following weeks.
Awesome.
So yes, if you go to Linktree /MoonMake, so just MoonMake, okay, and then that's a place you can get access as we develop. Yeah, we'll have more and more links there. So just remember Linktree, that's a common thing, and then MoonMake.
Is that link.tree or linktree.com/?
Linktree.com will work, and then the other one is linkr.ee, so it spells Linktree. Yeah,
and then it's MoonDAO
/MoonMake.
Okay, I'm just gonna throw that URL into the chat here on X. There we go. Got it. Yeah, cool.
This is a quick look of the type of things you'll be access to. And as we discussed earlier, the 3 for all files from where you can get the credits and support this cost to improve the access of Steam education in Rotan and including prototypes for space. It'll be either this profile or the Venture and Square and Spiral.
Awesome. Well, thank you for a great presentation. Lovely to meet you. Will you remind me your name? I'm so sorry.
Manuel.
Manuel. Nice to meet you, Manuel. Deep Venture DAO. Let me throw that one into the chat too. Yeah, three projects you guys are representing today. Deep Venture DAO. Oh, this is you, Manuel. Ah, good.
Actually, it's another Manuel.
Oh, it's a different Manuel. Okay.
But we have met each other, and it was funny when we met. So no worries.
Yeah, I had spoken to the other Manuel before, and I thought you guys sounded different.
Oh, you thought it was I was him initially?
No, I only thought that in this very moment, and then you corrected me. But yeah, very cool. Okay, so I shared all 3 projects. Thank you for collaborating. I love the spirit of a growing pie, working together. That's a vibe that resonates with me quite a bit. Anything else before we say goodbye?
No, thank you for having us here.
Awesome.
Please support us. It's something we enjoy doing, either for education or just for the fun of creating stuff. So it's been great for me to start joining this community. I've looked around to some of our other projects, so I'm getting excited to be more in this and probably be around for the next showcases. I'll see how things
every
work.
Friday, and then there's only 2 weeks left before the end of the season. So on the 24th, Scott has been brewing up something. I think it's going to be like a 24-hour
Yes.
telethon kind of style thing. I know you're on the recovery side, Scott, right now. Are you still feeling up for doing a big blowout?
Absolutely. There's going to be an email in your inbox tomorrow. I've been formulating.
All right. So yeah, I hope you guys will be involved there. My understanding of it is that it's going to be this big blowout event as we race to the finish line. Season 3 or 4 wraps at 2 p.m. I think it's 2 p.m. on Friday the 24th, and we'll have lots and lots of slots for creators to present. So there'll be one final chance, I think, for everyone who wants to present, and then we will, then we'll audit all the season and get everyone paid in February. And we should I always want to highlight, if you're in season 4, go ahead and submit to season 5 if you still have need for funding. We encourage the same project to submit as many seasons as you have need for funding, and we're already curating season 5 right now. So highly encourage you to go ahead and submit again. And you're not creating a new project, you're submitting the same project that's already live in season 4. You're just submitting it to the next season to start that curation process. You will need to add a new artifact, though, if you haven't already. That's my spiel there. Scott, did the Moody show up, or is this it? Are we saying goodbye?
I think this is it.
All right. The Moody is mercurial. He comes and goes as he please. But he's a positive force in our community, and we are always happy when he shows up however he chooses to. Scott, do you want to give us a little music on the outro just so we can vibe with you for a minute?
Yeah, let's vibe.
Okay, let's vibe. Man,